Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Monday, December 13th. In our top story, the Yuletide season is upon us now, while the Omicron variant is spreading across the world rapidly. Barbados has been experiencing declining positive numbers of COVID-19 cases, meaning a decrease in patients at isolation facilities and also in home isolation. The question now is, how can we keep the numbers from rising again? With me to discuss the combination of celebrating Christmas amidst COVID is Dr. Adana Grandison, Consultant Manager of Home Quarantine and the first Vice President of the Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners. Welcome to Morning Report and thanks for joining us.
Good morning and thank you for having me, Wendy.
Okay, first off, what can we attribute the declines that we're now seeing to?
We are seeing that persons have been coming out to get tested. We noticed that we may have had a few numbers less in terms of persons presenting to get tested. However, I think that persons are really starting to appreciate the seriousness of COVID and starting to take personal responsibility for managing their safety somewhat. We do know that we have some persons still in community who may not be wearing masks as they should, because we do know that masks is certainly beneficial, and also we are seeing increasing numbers in our vaccination, and we hope that persons continue as we get closer to the Christmas season. Well, we are in the Christmas season, but as we get closer to certainly Christmas Day and All Year's Night, that persons will continue to, at least if they haven't made the decision to get vaccinated, at least get their first shot or consider Johnson & Johnson.
Okay, now being just 2 weeks shy of Christmas Day, what should we be doing in terms of how we go about our Christmas shopping, for example?
Certainly, I think that we really need to prioritize what is absolutely essential at this time. I know that as Barbadians, we tend to celebrate Christmas very big. I certainly enjoy the Christmas season, but I think we need to do so safely. And one of the things that I think we can do certainly is to ensure that you're always walking with your hand sanitizer. Make sure that you have on a properly fitted mask. I think that that is really the number one priority of everyone during this season. And certainly write a list. Have your list before you decide to go shopping so that you're well planned. You have a great idea of what you need to get, and the milling around and ice shopping, which sometimes we are all quite guilty of doing, that is minimized.
Okay.
But really to really control the amount of time that you spend in a densely populated area where the potential for getting exposed and infected increases.
Okay, now it's a season for family, and I want to know what's your professional take on if family gatherings should be permitted, if they're safe, especially if, say, all of the family members are fully vaccinated and have had our booster shots.
Right. So certainly we know that persons that are vaccinated, especially those with the booster shot, can potentially have more protection than those who are not vaccinated. However, as I tell all of my family members, I treat every single person that I come into contact with as a potentially positive person who has COVID. And so I make sure that I have on my mask. And certainly in a family environment where you may have a Christmas family lunch, certainly you want to examine, one, who are the persons that are coming to your family lunch? Are there any vulnerable persons? I know we have grannies and great grands, and also the young children who are under the age of 11 who may not have gotten the opportunity to get vaccinated, given the fact that the vaccines have not been rolled out for them here as yet. And then certainly, again, taking that personal responsibility and stating, maybe we as a group, as a family, we should consider getting tested a day before, 2 days before, so that we can be accountable to each other, that we are safe. Okay. And on top of that, if you do have vulnerable persons in the home, when you return home, certainly consider yourself as if you may have been exposed. and limit the interaction at least for the first 2 days, and consider getting tested after the interaction, so that there's a certain level of safety that we bring even as we attempt to enjoy this Yuletide season, because I think that COVID is going to be here for quite some time. We do have the Omicron variant from our source markets, which potentially can come in, and I think that we need to start really considering personal responsibility and ensuring that we know our status. I've always spoke about normalizing testing, normalizing knowing your status. SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19 disease is something that anybody can get, regardless of your age, your socioeconomic background. It is something that anyone can get, and I think we just need to be responsible.
Now, some patients in home isolation have complained of getting lost in the system due to the large number of cases. With the home isolation dwindling now, can you anticipate maybe when the current numbers will reach a level that can be managed far better?
Certainly, we do have some persons who, unfortunately, we've lost a few of them to follow up, and we have deployed various mechanisms in terms of, for instance, trying to get the correct numbers. Sometimes we have gotten incorrect telephone numbers, and so we've had to do a bit of detective work sometimes in terms of trying to get into contact with these persons. But I do think that we are now really starting to get into a manageable range. Certainly we are at about 1,600 persons in home isolation program, and so we are finding that a lot less persons are being lost to follow up at this time.
Okay, and finally, can we expect any more rules to be added for home isolation?
At this point in time, I don't think it is really a matter of rules. I think it is really looking at what we have learned from the first wave of home isolation program, and essentially trying to improve the home isolation program, the efficiency, ensuring that persons are contacted in a timely manner. Reporting, self-reporting for patients is something that we are considering at this point in time, and it's something of discussion. And also ways of being able to monitor our escalated cases a lot closer. So far, we've done a relatively good job, I think, in terms of managing those the persons that are escalated and triage to get them into facility, thanks to our operations center and our transport cell. But I always am one to think that there's always room for improvement. So right now we're really looking at improving the efficiency of the program.
Well, I wish you good luck in getting that efficiency where you want it to be. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Adana Grandison, and do have a wonderful morning.
You too, and season's greetings. Bye-bye.
Next on CBC Morning Report, updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. A 73-year-old woman is the latest COVID-19 casualty. She died at the Harrison's Point isolation facility on Saturday and was fully vaccinated. The island has now recorded 252 COVID-19 related deaths. Meanwhile, 74 new COVID cases, 34 males and 40 females, were recorded Saturday. 1,117 tests were conducted by the Besto Santos Public Health Lab. Of the new cases, 9 people were under the age of 18. There were 263 people in isolation facilities and 1,763 in home isolation. Now, under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of people with at least one dose is 154,481. The total number of people who are fully vaccinated is 139,823. Bahamians getting vaccinated for the first time against COVID-19 as of today now have a chance of winning $25,000. The move is the latest incentive by government to help the country reach its goal of herd immunity.
We are deep into the hesitancy pool of individuals for various reasons. And so we have to determine how we can incentivize best those who are sitting on the fence.
According to co-chair of the Vaccine Consultative Committee, Ed Fields, to date, some 150,000 persons have received at least one vaccine dose. But herd immunity, which is 60% of the country's population, equates to 200,000, meaning government still needs to get at least 50,000 people jabbed. Adriana Fox, who co-founded the Fox Foundation, government's partners in this initiative, says for the first 2 weeks there will be a digital drawing every Saturday and multiple winners will be selected. Week 1 and 2 will see several winners.
50 persons will win $500. Results will be posted on ILTV channel on Saturday.
And while first week winners won't be able to re-enter to become one of 50 lucky persons winning $500 during week 2, the stakes are higher, she says, during week 3, which is the lottery's last run at the end of this month.
But at the end of the drawing, you'll be entered back to win the $25,000.
According to Fields, the promotion will apply to persons getting their first dose of any vaccine available in the country.
Guyana has achieved a landmark in its vaccination drive against the deadly coronavirus, having inoculated more than 435,000 of its population and surpassed the 40% target set by the World Health Organization. More in this HGP TV report.
Announcing the achievement of this milestone was Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony during his COVID-19 update, who said that more than 56% of the country's population, including adults and eligible adolescents, have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. He noted that Guyana has exceeded the 40% vaccination target set out by the World Health Organization in September of this year.
As of yesterday, we have been able to give 435,085 doses of vaccines, first dose vaccines, to persons living in Guyana. That takes our first dose coverage for our entire population at 56.3%.
Second doses for the entire population stands at 36.6%. The World Health Organization has an ongoing strategy to have 40% of the world's population vaccinated against COVID-19 by the end of this year and 70% by mid-2022. This strategy further challenges individual countries to achieve the said targets.
International tourists have begun to return to the United States now that travel restrictions have been lifted. But in many cities, office employees are still working from home. That has led to less foot traffic and vacant storefronts in what were once considered high-rent districts like Midtown Manhattan in New York.
One Vanderbilt, a new high-rise named for its address, rises directly above Grand Central Station in Midtown Manhattan, some of the most expensive real estate in the world. The 93-story office tower offers this spectacular view to the public from Summit 1 Vanderbilt, plus all the latest amenities for corporate clients who, according to Senior Vice President Jason Hackett, have flocked here despite the lingering pandemic.
From an office building perspective, we've got the premier address in New York. We went into the pandemic at about 76% leased and are coming out of the pandemic now at about 91% leased. So really proving out that there's demand for Class A high quality office space, which we have here at Summit 1 Vanderbilt.
Of course, not everyone can afford the rent here. No doubt the view is much different down there at street level, where office vacancies remain up, rents are down in this part of town, and 2/3 of office workers have yet to return to their desks, and that has an impact on the entire neighborhood. Fewer office workers means less foot traffic and less business for Kava, one of 3 Midtown restaurants owned by Amy Babick. She says her business is back to about 80% of pre-pandemic levels.
The neighborhood people carried us over, but to get us back to 100% level of the numbers we need to see to be open is office workers and tourism combined. It's really everything.
Nearly 1/3 of retail storefronts here in Manhattan are vacant. The East Midtown Partnership represents local property owners who are faced with more demanding as well as fewer tenants.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. And for that, we welcome Pearson Wilhelm Bowen.
Wendy. Good morning to you, Wendy Waple. Wendy Waple, good morning. How are you doing?
I am well, Pearson.
I don't know where you search for these names, but I
Willem,
accept
it's
it.
the German to William.
Yes, I know, but I don't know where you search. But thank you, nonetheless. And good morning again, Waple. Folks, when you join us at 6:30 this morning for Morning Barbados, we are going to be talking excellence. It seems as if there's a lot of it at St. Leonard's Boys School. Just recently, they were making news in mathematics. And so we want to celebrate this morning with their principal, the teacher, and a member of the board. Also, we'll be continuing our conversations on CARICOM as we get some updates on recent CARICOM developments. And we get an update too on what's been happening with Hopeful Handbags. What's been going on as we head towards December 25th. Those and a whole lot more straight ahead when you join me at 6:30. Back to you, Waple.
Why, thank you, Willem. We'll see you within the hour, and we'll now take another break and return with more news. The Barbados Association of Retired Persons will be tackling elder abuse in society. Speaking during last evening's public affairs program, One on One, aired on CBC TV 8, BARC President Marilyn Rice-Bowen said they're concerned about the high level of cases reported to them about elder abuse.
They come to us and sometimes they show you bank statements, they tell you stories of situations where they allowed persons to live in their homes and then the persons just took possession, or they allowed family members to build on their land and to sort of help them out, and it didn't work. And you know, I feel you feel their pain, because when you're betrayed by people that you love, it's hard. And then sometimes it is difficult for the seniors to speak out, because how can you speak out if the person that's causing the abuse prepares my meals and makes my bed up at night? You know, so it is a real difficult situation that some of our seniors find themselves in. And I'm hoping that with time that we could we would have to, of course, offer more programs in elder abuse.
Another issue BART plans to address is that of some employers who do not provide retirement plans. Ms. Rice-Bowen says this is just not good enough.
It's unfair that there are persons in this country who have built companies. Some of them have never even taken a day off. And at the end of their tenure, they get a shake hand. Even if you've done it before as employers, we are asking you to stop. I'm not saying yet that we are going to build some advocacy around it, but for sure, we are not satisfied with that, with your non-action, and we're going to be coming after you about it because it's unfair. Companies in Barbados should always offer pension plans to their employees. Equally as important is group health. You know, you have staff working with you and there's no group health.
Local authorities are moving to crack down on the number of illegal vehicles on the island's roads. They're doing so by introducing an electronic vehicle registration system. Minister of Transport Works and Water Resources, Ian Gooding-Edgell, says work has already started on the project.
A back-end system or the violation processing system for administering violations will also be a feature of the new EVR system. Portals and gantries are being located across Barbados. Gantries are going to be established at Waterford in St. Michael, the Mighty Griner Highway, along BET Hill in Wildy St. Michael, Bagatelle St. Thomas, Holtong in St. James, Six Roads St. Philip, Spikestown in St. Peter, along Highway 7 and Salters St. George.
The minister says public education is also in government's implementation plans.
A radio frequency identification device or tag will be affixed to the windscreen of each vehicle. Now, this will help the licensing authority and other agencies ensure compliance with the Road Traffic Act and regulation. It would certainly lend considerable assistance to the enforcement arm of the Barbados Police Service in traffic and crime prevention, a reduction in the number of vehicles with false registration plates, and this is an area of great concern to the authorities at the licensing authority. But it will also critically protect persons who purchase vehicles to ensure that they're not purchasing stolen vehicles.
The National Union of Public Workers is to write to the Ministry of Finance outlining the specific sections of the Debt Settlement Arrears 2021 Act that are causing concern. President Kimberly Agard says the union hopes the correspondence will receive a favorable response.
A long-serving member of the union who is well placed within the Ministry of Finance shared some valuable information and knowledge with the meeting participants, which led to discussions and a robust debate on some of the areas within the legislation, which were the main causes for panic and concern with the public workers. Upon conclusion of that exchange, it was agreed that correspondence would be sent to the Ministry of Finance outlining the specific sections of the legislation that are troubling to the union. It is anticipated that it will be met with favorable action by the powers that be.
Live bands and music are slowly making a comeback in Barbados, despite a decline in nightlife triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister in the Prime Minister's office with responsibility for culture, John King, is encouraging local musicians to take full advantage of the re-emerging space. He believes it is important for artists and musicians to use these outlets to promote their talent and generate revenue.
We're talking about 70s, 80s, mid-90s. 2000s came and things changed. And for those of us who would have been privileged to experience that era of having music all around us all the time, this really is the beginning, in my mind, of giving our younger musicians, those who would not have had the opportunity to experience what Barbados was like back then, it gives them an opportunity now to do that.
He made the comments during a night of live music and performances hosted by recording artist David Curtin at the Sage Bar and Stage. Minister King commended the hosts for creating a space for local musicians to hone their skills and share their talents with the world.
I hope more and more artists come and embrace this as not like a small stage, but it's actually an intimate place to express themselves very creatively, take their time and do whatever they want. I have some really young, talented artists who have been coming in and really.
With less than 3 weeks left in its 2021 Christmas Kettle Appeal, the Salvation Army is reporting a good response so far from the public. And if all goes well, it could possibly reach its target this year. That's the word from the Army's Divisional Commander for Barbados, Major Brenda Greenidge.
We are just about halfway to a target. We have a target of 700,000 and we're just a little over 300,000. With 3 weeks to go to actually close our campaign, I can see that we will make the target if persons continue to give the way they're given presently.
As the appeal continues, Major Greenidge says the next couple of days will be busy for the Army as it prepares for its annual hamper distribution and other events.
We'll be distributing 8,000 Christmas hampers, and this will be on the 15th. And then on the 17th, we would have our Christmas dinner for 350 persons.
At least 80 people have been killed in the United States after a series of tornadoes ripped through the 6 Midwestern and Southern states over the weekend. President Joe Biden says it is likely to be one of the largest storm outbreaks in U.S. history. The extreme weather left a trail of destruction stretching more than 320 kilometers.
One town seemingly wiped away in one evening, Mayfield, Kentucky, where a candle factory with 110 people inside was leveled. A trapped worker took to Facebook Live to plead for help.
And we are trapped. Please, y'all, get us some help. We're at the candle factory in Mayfield. Please, please.
She got out, but the governor believes the vast majority of workers did not.
Seeing an entire downtown wiped out, knowing the loss of life that occurred here and Muhlenberg County and everywhere else, this is the hardest tornado event we've ever been through, and it's not just because of the property damage, but we lost a lot of good people, and we got to do our best as it gets dark and through the next days to make sure we don't lose any more.
The storms, with as many as 30 tornadoes, could be seen from space. Tornadoes that came down and stayed down, causing damage for more than 300 kilometers.
This path length, I believe, when it's all said and done, we're waiting for the numbers to come in, will be a near 400 kilometer path length, and very likely that this tornado will be rated violent, which means EF4, EF5. I'm expecting winds, peak wind speeds to be well over 200 miles per hour with this particular tornado.
And it wasn't just Kentucky, an Amazon warehouse in Illinois, a nursing home in Arkansas, destruction in Missouri and Tennessee. States that expect tornadoes, but not usually in December. President Joe Biden spoke to the nation, calling for unity, promising the full support of the federal government, and reminding people of what has been lost.
In sports, despite the absence of many senior players, stand-in captain Nicholas Pooran has deep faith in the new-look West Indies side, heading into today's T20 series against Pakistan. With original skipper Kieron Pollard out due to injury and a number of seasoned players out due to COVID-19 positive cases, Pooran says it is now a rebuilding stage for the side. It's time now for a look at the weather picture. In Barbados right now, the temperature is 26.2 degrees Celsius, but it feels like 30. Humidity stands at 89% and the barometric pressure 1012.4 millibars. The winds are from the east at 26 kilometers per hour. The first low tide will be at 6:41 p.m. and high tide at 12:01 p.m. The seas are moderate in open water with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2.5 meters and increasing. Small craft operators and sea bathers should exercise caution. Today's forecast, sunny with cloudy periods and occasional brief light to moderate scattered showers. Tonight will be cloudy with clear periods and occasional brief scattered moderate showers. And here's now a look at our international cities. And we're at the end of our morning report. Our next newscast will be at 12 Newsday. We now join Pearson Bowie for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you, everyone. Good morning and welcome to a brand new week, but most of all, welcome to today, Monday, December the 13th, 2021. I am Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you here in Barbados and those of you across the globe watching us on our YouTube channel or our Facebook streams. Thank you for joining us. Remember, our Facebook page is Mornin Barbados. You can like our page. We post everything we do right there. So you can always follow up on anything you might have heard on any of the shows at any time on the Facebook page, Mornin Barbados. Now today, we'll be once again looking at what's going to be happening on Friday when Amaze celebrates its 11th anniversary. It's going to be a big celebration. And so Ryan Boyce will be with us once again to tempt and tease and let us know what we can expect on Friday. We'll also be meeting Soraya Toppin-Her, but no, she's been making news. And because she's been making news, she's going to be with us to talk a little bit more about her journey thus far in football and what she's up to. But let's get started this morning by looking at excellence, and I mean excellence indeed. And we're heading to the St. Leonard's School. That's where the excellence resides. Meeting this morning with the principal, Stephen Scott, the teacher in mathematics at the St. Leonard's Boys' School, Astrid Aline, and Denise White, who is with the board, a board member with the St. Leonard's Boys' School. Good morning to each of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations, Astrid. It must feel awesome to know that you are history making.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, talk to me a little bit about how these young men became so well known, and what was it that they did that was so unusual and needed to mark history?
Okay, well, good morning to all. The 12 boys out of my class, I would have spoken to my HOD. There's an exam called the City and Guilds, and I would have spoken to my HOD, and she would have mentioned it that she wanted the boys to try this exam. Now, obviously, we know it's COVID time. Mathematics is one of these subjects that is quite difficult. We know face to face, so you can imagine how it is doing this subject online. So after she reached out and she said, you know, we would like some of the boys to try this exam, because these are my boys that I teach in my class. They were in third form at that point in time. I reached out to them, I reached out to their parents, and I asked them, you know, which boys would be interested in trying the exam. And that's what I did. In terms of preparation, what we did is I used to have lessons 3 times a week for these boys. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. These boys also will have done another exam called the CCSLC. But I would say I'm really proud of them, especially for this exam, the City and Guilds exam. It comes in 3 stages. Most of the boys, or most of the schools, the newer secondary schools, they would have done, this exam is usually done in the senior school, Pearson. This exam is usually done for 4th, 5th formers. But I must say the boys put in the effort. I'm really proud of them, and they all received distinctions, because with this exam, it is done, you usually get a pass, a merit, or distinction. and they received 12 distinctions.
There you go. You know, oftentimes we think boys are distracted, they don't want to settle down, they can't somehow achieve the way girls achieve. But this cohort of boys has proven all of that wrong. And no doubt it makes you absolutely proud. But you spotted this special talent in them from third form. What is it about them in third form that caused you to think that they can make it, they can do it?
Well, as I said, I was actually teaching them from first form. The whole thing about it is that I really think we need to highlight the boys, as you're saying, because in this time, society-wise, as you correctly said, it is difficult for boys. But I find that once boys find teachers that they can work with, and I must say we do have a cohort of teachers at St. Leonard's who really work and push these boys. You get excellent results coming from third form right up. You know, it was once known, even before I went to the school, because I'm only 4 years at the school. You know, you would have had boys from third form. You always heard of everybody doing lessons at St. Leonard's School, boys doing Spanish, the languages from third form and up. So I think it is something that happens when those boys come. So once the boys' self-esteem are lifted and they come through that gate and you work with these boys, because we must remember, Pearson, that these are students who would not have scored 90, 80, or even 100 in the common entrance. You know, these boys' marks are sometimes even below 50. And the thing about it is that once you have an attitude, you have that parental support that will work with you. And I must say, most of the parents, once they see that you want to work with them and you want to work with their boys and you get that support, then that's 90% of the work finished already.
Yes. Part of that support also comes from the principal of the school, because the school is what it is. It creates an environment of excellence. Excellence in Spanish, in music, now mathematics. And Mr. Scott, that must really make you two feel very proud. So tell to us a little about what is this culture at St. Leonard's Boys School where we see such excellence constantly popping up?
Good morning, Pearson. Well, indeed, yes, it is a culture that we have cultivated at the St. Leonard's Boys School. Indeed, we want to be the most effective school in Barbados. And in the research, one of the views of being an effective school is that you must have high expectations of your students. And we have done that at the school in every area. We are highlighting the boys in math this morning, but excellence pervades St. Leonard's Boys School in all aspects. And indeed, the teachers work hard to ensure that. We have our positive behavioral management program where we award the students for doing well. We have the Students of the Month award. We have the Principals award, and every single boy wants to gain these awards. And we speak to them in positive words. We address them by titles such as Sir and Mr. And therefore, through that, we are developing them and developing their mindsets that they can achieve anything they want to do in their lives.
I'm so curious as to what an assembly would be like for you at the boys' school. What is the words that you impart? Because excellence is also modeled. And so what is it that you ask of the teachers and the senior staff to do that the boys ought to be able to model?
Well, I ask our teachers to be exemplary, to lead by example. The school still has a majority male staff, and that is important, I believe, to give those boys the examples directly in front of them. Our female teachers also assist in that from that motherly perspective. But indeed, we always say to the boys that we expect great things of them. In our classes, I say to the boys when I visit them, I expect them to get A's. That is where I want them to be. Don't be settled for a C or a B. And at our assemblies, we sing our school song lustily. We repeat our motto, fear God, think clean, aim high. They know that they hear that every day as we go through the school to really resonate in their minds that that is what they are doing. And therefore, the management team, the teachers, the ancillary staff, the board of management, the parents, everybody, we are together, working together to engage to ensure that these boys excel.
And so Sharon Gay is the member of board with us this morning. I do apologize for quoting your name incorrectly. But Ms. Gay, you must note yourself as a member of the board of management at the St. Leonard's Boys School, feel justly proud, and so it is. So what kind of support does the board give to the management of the school that helps them to be able to achieve all of this?
Well, good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados. We members of the Board of St. Leonard's School try our best to support the teachers, the principal, and every single body who try their best to encourage these boys and make sure that they excel in whatever they do. When Astrid came to us about this project, we decided, well, go right ahead and see what can happen. And as you can see, the result is 12 distinctions. And we must admit that we never expected to get this type of results. But there you go. Once you have dedicated teachers, dedicated parents, anything is possible.
Boards often decide policy, and so you set direction and you give directives. What do you see to be the direction, and what should be the directive for the school to follow going forward, so that it maintains that excellence, that thrust to do well all the time?
But once you have the dedication of the parents' help and their support is monitored and is well received. Once parental support, anything is possible.
Mr. Scott, now you have now a legacy to maintain. It has been set, history has been made, and it is yours now to ensure that there's a repetition of this. What do you think is going to be the next year for you?
Oh yes, continue, because this is a legacy that has been there before I arrived in 2019. We've been excelling in sports. As you know, we have done well in football. We have done well in hockey. We came third in the last inter-schools athletics championship. We were silently getting ready to decimate all others. The school choir continues to excel throughout Barbados. We want to become a school of excellence in sports, in the arts, technical and vocational areas. All of these things we are striving for. Even at our A levels, we had the best results this year ever for our sixth form school. And therefore, as we work together, and that is so important, as we work together as a team, and I must say that the staff at the St. Leonard's Boys School, and when I say staff, I don't just mean the teaching staff, but the non-teaching staff as well, they work well together to ensure that the boys gain everything that they need to. And on top of that, many of the teachers are past students, so they know where the school came from, they know the culture of the school, and therefore they take the school forward. And only just this week, we were celebrating our 69th anniversary, and we were highlighting all of those facets in our school. And next year will be a grand occasion, the 70th anniversary celebration of the school. So therefore, that legacy will continue, and as long as I am there, I will continue to give my support, because I'm a big believer in servant leadership, and therefore give my support to all of my staff as they chart the path forward.
Fantastic. And Astrid, back to you now. I don't know if you can recall all of the names of those 12 young men who got distinctions in mathematics. If you do, can you name them for me?
Sure. Anadi Hines, Chris Robinson, Christian Gill, DeSant Sandiford, Daquan Pollard, Jaden Moore, Josiah Patterson, McCary Ford, Najeri Payne, Shaquan King Leon, Tristan Knight, and Zidane Small.
There's nothing like hearing one's name, and I wanted you to call them by name. That's so important for young men in particular. I want to thank each of you and commend you on the great work that you're doing there at the St. Leonard's School. I am so immensely proud of you, and I know a number of us in Barbados are too, because oftentimes you would have heard some comments made about the St. Leonard's Boys School, but in recent years we've not been hearing any negative comments, and that's down to all of the hard work that you guys are doing there at the school. Thank you for doing it for the nation's boys. And thank you so very much for all that you have been able to contribute. And Astrid, keep up the good work. I can't wait for the next cohort that you have identified that you will see through to distinction. Mr. Scott, thank you too for the great work that you're doing in encouraging these young men day in, day out. And Ms. Gay, from the board's perspective, you're doing very well as a board as well in lending your support to all of the activities and creating that space where they can achieve. Thank you, each of you, for joining us this morning. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You are very, very welcome. Boy, excellent stay at the St. Leonard's Boys School. Of course, you can see all of this back again on our page, Morning Barbados, on Facebook, so you can celebrate too. If you have a child at the St. Leonard's Boys School, you must be beaming brightly, and certainly we're beaming brightly with you too. We'll take a break here, and we're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're approaching 13 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. Friday. This coming Friday is going to be a big day at Amaze in Oistins. And certainly again, to tempt and tease us some more about what we can expect on Friday is Ryan Boyce, who's the marketing representative at Amaze. Good morning again to you, Ryan.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us here.
Our
I'm
pleasure.
already excited. Yes, you know,
I
like
know.
you said, Friday. Mark your calendars, please. It's December 17th, this Friday, 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. I expect to see the whole of Barbados and anybody that is visiting Barbados over at Amaze. Okay, we're over in Oistins, 12 and 13 Harvest Plaza.
12 and 13 Harvest Plaza. It's 12 hours to celebrate an 11th anniversary, but it's a big discount day. That's the important. It's big discount day. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, you've been telling our secrets. So,
sorry.
However, now that it's out, yes, there's on this Friday, it's 20% discount, 20% discount off of everything within the store. So as soon as you pick up that trinket, or as you take up the biggest thing that you want, it is 20% discount on Friday. Get there before 9 o'clock. In fact, we're telling persons to come through ahead, identify exactly what they need, speak to our representatives and such like, so that when they turn up on Friday, it's not a problem. You get your 20%, and then after that, until the end of the year, the percentage drops to 10%. So it's best to get in there on Friday. In fact, we're letting every person know that we're also celebrating our birthday by giving away free refreshments. There's breakfast stuff, there's lunch, there's entertainment. Who have a birthday party and don't have a little something, you know what I'm saying?
So
we
true.
have some singers, you know. I'm sure I invited you already, Pearson, to come across and render a tune or two, you know. But we have the worship dancers, we have DJ Wendell Weeks who drop tunes all day. We're there until 8 p.m. So even if you're at work or if you're working remotely, you know, at your lunch hour you can pop in, or right after work you can pop in. I know that's the end of school, so as soon as the school is out on Friday, come over. We're there until 8 p.m. and you can also enjoy some fruits and vegetables, get some nice ice cream and things like that. In fact, we're even giving away free Bibles and study tracts as well.
Very
okay,
good.
it's Christmas, yeah.
Yes.
So somebody needs to hear the word as well, too, yeah.
This is great
And
all
we're
day
also
long.
letting you- Sorry.
Yes, I said this is great all day long, and that's what's
All day
important,
long.
you know. So while you may not have be able to make it at 9 o'clock, and you can make it at 6 p.m., that's great. You can still have the same benefits as anybody who came at 9.
That's correct. And still get home in time for the curfew, you know?
Yes.
So we're telling you, we have it's outdoors where the entire car park space is taken up, and you can get your blood pressure checks done, you can get your cholesterol. This is all free. And those persons who are accustomed to come by, we expect to see you there. You know how we do it. We're, of course, making sure all the COVID protocols and all the sanitizing happens. We'll have persons going through. You will see them with the Amaze. Look, hang on, look. Yep, you will be able to identify them with the Amaze brand, you know. So they'll come through the crowds and make sure that you're sanitized, temperature checks, and all that sort of thing as well. Remember, it's an 11-day sale and customer appreciation. We'll also have you guys come by and do, your outside broadcast with us at CBC, doing the outside broadcast, and of course, Starcom will come by and do the outside broadcast as well. And we're also encouraging persons who say, you know what, somebody who's desperately in need. We'll have a hamper or two. Just come over to the corner, whisper to Marge or one of the others and say, listen, there's a family that is desperately in need. We believe that we can offer them a gift hamper, some fruits or something for the season. So even though it's our birthday at Amaze, we're still telling you we can give you something, and it's store wide. Not like any other sale that's out there. It is store wide. Snow cones. Who don't like a little snow cone? Fish cakes. Who don't like fish cakes? Come and get some rice and peas. Real peas, not the imitation things. At our birthday party. And you can also feel free to visit our website www.amaze.com, and you see some of the videos of what we're going to be doing, some of our videos of who's going to be there. And additionally, we also encourage you to call us 420-7809. 420, get the pen quickly, 420-7809. We're looking for the entire Barbados. Call at 9 o'clock this morning. We've extended the hours just this Friday. All right, that's this Friday. We're extending the hours so that we allow those from as far as St. Lucie to get there, from as far as St. Philip to get there, from as far as Christchurch, who right next door, to get here at our birthday celebration. I'm looking for everybody. Okay. Come through. We're excited already. You should see the vibe coming through. These persons are already excited.
All of those great products we've heard over the months and the years, they are going to be on sale, folks, including the Arginine, which Amaze is known for, and so much more.
Absolutely. We have the Arginine on sale. We have toys for the children on sale. We have something for that virus that's going around the place. You must come through and see it. Okay. We also have persons who have joint issues because at this time of year it gets a little colder. So you have a little arthritis. We have something for that. We have something for skin. We have something for your hair. You have something for the kitchen. If you want to cook this, persons are home and they're trying their hand out. We have those things as well. Okay, so we're expecting to see every single body 20%. I'm not going to say this. 20% discount. Where else in Barbados you can get 20% discount so soon?
I agree. It's a great place and a great time to start making your purchases. Now, last year, the portable aircons, the little ones that are really, really effective. Do you still have more? Because I bought quite a few last year and made gifts of them. Do you still have more?
That is creative, Pearson. I would say that is very creative, especially as we go into the hotter season of January and February. Now is the time. Yes, come through and get them. Yes, please. We have those things, and there are different types of gifts that you can consider. They are applicable. So you can make use of them over and over and over. And then while you come down, get your blood pressure checked. Nobody wants the stress. Check your blood pressure, check your sugar, check your cholesterol for free. This is how we do it on our birthday as well, And then while you do that, just ease across and get a little delicacy of the gluten-free ice cream or the fruit lollies. You'll hear some music in there. We have the worship dancers and those sorts of things. Remember, we do have an industrial sanitizer, 1,200 squirts, and as soon as that, we top it right back up so you can feel safe in the space. Right? There's nothing more excited to do than to come across by Amaze this Friday. And of course, if you forget to pick up something on Friday, we're going to be back there on Saturday, but you will not get the 20% discount, right? And that actually will continue until the end of the year. That's right.
So it's a great
And
reason
we
for all of
always
us to start the celebration this Friday, to really start our big shopping this Friday at Amaze, from shoes to bags to placemats, even all sorts of things you will find. See, I could talk about it. You could find in store at Amaze, number 12 and 13 Harvest Plaza in Oasis. Now, for those who are curious as to how to get there, what's your best advice?
Okay, so those coming from the north, I'm coming from all down at St. Lucie. I'm coming from River Bay and come through Miley Quarter, or if you come down Spikestown, make sure you get onto the Oistins bus. Get out at the Oistins bus station, and you will hear the music. You will see the 19-foot, 18-foot dancing Argentine man. Right, it's the only one in Barbados. You will hear the excitement of people coming from Amaze with their bag of goodies saying, I have to tell somebody about this. So, as a Bajan, once one body see that they getting all this stuff,
The crowd coming.
Is going to get into Oystins this Friday, 9 o'clock. In fact, get there before 9 o'clock so that you get ahead of the next one.
I know. The lines get pretty long. I've seen it. They're snaked around the building for hours. But the point is, everybody who's in line will get to have the same kind of benefit.
Yes, they do. So even if you say you don't want to get there for that morning bit, but like we said, the lunchtime we're still there, and you get the same service, the same benefit. All of our reps will be there to assist you, and based on the COVID regulations, we only allow a certain number within the store, and we've been doing this for years. Those persons know that's how we do it as well.
All right, Ryan, I got to leave it right there. But folks, Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning at Amaze, in the line, waiting to get that 20% discount. Look at this in your face right there. We'll post this, of course, on our Facebook page as well, so that everyone gets to see and to know. And remember, if you have a question, give them a call on 420-7809, 420-7809. Ryan, thank you as always for coming by and tempting us as to be a part of the sale on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. We'll take a quick break right here. When we come back, I'll be calling someone in the big Christmas competition. Stand by for that.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's a minute and a half to go to the hour. Let's see if we get a winner on the line now. Stand by, your chance to win. If you've entered our Christmas competition, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Then stand by to answer your phone. And if you answer your phone correctly, then you are an instant winner. So let's see if we get someone on the phone. Please answer your phone. Answer your phone. Let's see here now. It's ringing. Come on. I don't know, is it me when I hear the phone ring, I quickly answer it? Maybe I'm annoyed at the sound of the ringing phone. Answer your phone.
What are you going to give me for Christmas?
Ah, well done. What's your name?
Hmm?
What is your name?
Well, who you, what is my name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Who's calling?
Answer me first, I'm going to tell you in a minute. What's your name?
My name is Megan Smith.
You're Megan? Is this the person we need, folks? Talk to me in my ear.
This is Mr.
Megan, you're Megan.
This Pearson?
Megan, don't ask me questions. Yes, it's Pearson.
How you, sir?
I'm good, how are you?
I only see you on TV and about, but I can't hear you at all.
Oh, I'm still here though, still abiding according to the old people, you know.
Praise the Lord, you still look good though.
Yo, listen, you're gonna make me blush, don't make me do that. But thank you.
But really good, really nice. Maybe the older
Megan, listen, you're making me laugh, girl, but that's all right. But thank you for your compliment. Megan, and thank you for answering the phone correctly as well. Let me tell you what you've won. You've won a $75 voucher, compliments of Vegco Farms. Now you eat lots of vegetables, right?
Yes, please.
My kind of girl, my kind of girl. Megan, congratulations. Someone from our marketing department will be calling you, and they will make arrangements for you to get your voucher so you can go off to Vegco Farms and get your vegetables in time for Christmas, Megan.
I thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You too. Keep looking nice, okay?
All right, Megan, thank you very much.
Let me give you a joke before you go. You know, from the time I entered that contest, I've been answering the phone, what you're going to give them for Christmas, and all my friends and my family laugh at me. Everybody, I answer the phone whenever the phone rings,
yes,
I ask them what you're going to give me for Christmas. And
they laugh at you.
Yesterday, they tell me you're answering it yesterday. Even yesterday, even yesterday, you're answering it the same way that it was Sunday.
Yes, yes.
And I said, I don't know when they can come to me.
So true.
I answer from the time the contest started and I enter my name.
Look at that. And look at that. Perseverance seldom fails. You did well, Megan. Thank you so much. Congratulations. She has the right approach. Thank you, Megan.
I'm on the air or I'm on TV?
You are on live on the TV, on the air.
On TV, Mr. Bowen?
You are on the TV, though, Miss Megan.
I am?
Yes. They can't see you. They can't see you. You're not going. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
But I can't be on the TV. How I look, or just my voice.
Your voice is on the TV.
Oh, my voice, I can't be on the TV. How I look, I go on the TV.
I told you so just now. I knew you had all your night, girl. But thank you, Megan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Before she tells me anything else.
And look, my lover boy is so called me for my...
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart, Megan. Bless your heart. All right. Thank you, okay? Thank you. Help me cool. Thank you.
Christmas, and maybe
you too. All right.
Christmas.
These boys are doing this to be deliberately. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan, indeed. Megan is absolutely right. Look at Megan. Isn't she sweet? I am telling you. Woo. That's my kind of girl. All right, folks. It's time for us to get an update on the news. It's now 3 minutes after 7 o'clock. Oh, I feel great. Back to you, Wendy.
Well, thank you, Pearson. Local authorities are moving to crack down on the number of illegal vehicles on the country's roads. They're doing so by introducing an electronic vehicle registration system. Minister of Transport Works and Water Resources, Ian Gooding-Edgell, says work has already started on the project.
A back-end system or the violation processing system for administering violations will also be a feature of the new EVR system. Portals and gantries are being located across Barbados. Gantries are going to be established at Waterford in St. Michael, the Mighty Griner Highway, along BET Hill in Wildy St. Michael, Bagatelle St. Thomas, Holtong in St. James, Six Roads St. Philip, Spikestown in St. Peter, along Highway 7 and Salters St. George.
The minister says public education is also in government's implementation plans.
A radio frequency identification device or tag will be affixed to the windscreen of each vehicle. Now, this will help the licensing authority and other agencies ensure compliance with the Road Traffic Act and regulation. It would certainly lend considerable assistance to the enforcement arm of the Barbados Police Service in traffic and crime prevention, a reduction in the number of vehicles with false registration plates, and this is an area of great concern to the authorities at the licensing authority. but it will also critically protect persons who purchase vehicles to ensure that they're not purchasing stolen vehicles.
The Barbados Association of Retired Persons will be tackling elder abuse in society. Speaking during last evening's public affairs program on One aired on CBC TV8, BARP President Marilyn Rice-Bowen said they're concerned about the high level of cases reported to them about elder abuse.
They come to us and sometimes they show you bank statements. They tell you stories of situations where they allowed persons to live in their homes and then the persons just took possession, or they allowed family members to build on their land and to sort of help them out, and it didn't work. And you know, you feel their pain, because when you're betrayed by people that you love, it's hard. And then sometimes it is difficult for the seniors to speak out, because how can you speak out if the person that's causing the abuse prepares my meals and makes my bed up at night? You know, so it is a real difficult situation that some of our seniors find themselves in. And I'm hoping that with time that we could, we would have to, of course, offer more programs in elder abuse.
A 73-year-old woman is the latest COVID-19 casualty. She died at the Harrison Point Isolation Facility on Saturday and was fully vaccinated. The island has now recorded 252 COVID-19 related deaths. The Yuletide season is upon us now, while the Omicron variant is spreading across the world rapidly. Barbados has been experiencing declining positive numbers of COVID-19 cases, meaning a decrease in patients at isolation facilities and also in home isolation. Dr. Adana Grandison, who is the Consultant Manager of Home Quarantine and First Vice President of the Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners, told us the numbers are because people are managing themselves better.
We noticed that we may have had a few numbers less in terms of persons presenting to get tested. However, I think that persons are really starting to appreciate the seriousness of COVID and starting to take personal responsibility for managing their safety somewhat. We do know that we have some persons still in community who may not be wearing masks as they should. Because we do know that mask is certainly beneficial, and also we are seeing increasing numbers in our vaccination, and we hope that persons continue as we get closer to the Christmas season. Well, we are in the Christmas season, but as we get closer to certainly Christmas Day and All Year's Night, that persons will continue to, at least if they haven't made the decision to get vaccinated, at least get their first shot or consider Johnson & Johnson.
With less than 3 weeks left in its 2021 Christmas Kettle Appeal, the Salvation Army is reporting a good response so far from the public. And if all goes well, it could possibly reach its target this year. That's the word from the Army's Divisional Commander for Barbados, Major Brenda Greenwich.
We are just about halfway to our target. We have a target of 700,000 and we're just a little over 300,000. With 3 weeks to go to actually close our campaign, I can see that we will make the target if persons continue to give the way they're given presently.
As the appeal continues, Major Greenwich says the next couple of days will be busy for the Army as it prepares for its annual hamper distribution and other events.
We'll be distributing 8,000 Christmas hampers, and this will be on the 15th. And then on the 17th, we would have our Christmas dinner for 350 persons.
And just a programming note for you before we go. While there'll be a World at One via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 AM, and 94.7 FM today. That will be when you will get to tune into our newscast. And I now take you back over to Willem so that he can bring you the rest of Morning Barbados.
Thank you, Wapel. It's 98.1 The One, 94.7 The Best 24/7, and Q100.7 FM, your stations of choice in radio. Here at the CBC, we do thank you for making those choices every single day. We'll take a break here. When we come back, the Crumbs question of the day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Approaching 12 minutes after 7 o'clock, time for you to give me a call now on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Why? Because I have the Crumbs Bakery question of the day. So the numbers again, 228-5562 or 228-5563, because here comes today's Crumbs question of the day. I hope you're a movie buff, because the question is, what is the preferred slice of pizza for Kevin in Home Alone? Lost myself. I don't watch movies, so you must tell me now. What was that preferred slice of pizza for Kevin in Home Alone? It's a Christmas favorite of so many of you. So what was the preferred slice of pizza for Kevin in that movie, Home Alone? Good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Fantastic. What's your first name?
Sean
Hello, Sean. What parish are you watching from, Sean?
and Andrew.
Is this Sean female or Sean male?
Female, please.
Female. So how's your first name spelled?
S-H-A-W-N.
Like a man spelling?
Alright.
Tell me female, please. All right. So what's your answer for me this morning?
Home Alone 4.
No. What was the preferred? What type of pizza did he prefer, Kevin, in Home Alone? What type of pizza did he prefer?
I do not know if that is the honest truth.
Sister, here's your brother. I ain't got a clue either. But thank you for trying, all right? Thank you for watching from St. Andrew as well. All right, Sean, S-H-A-W-N. Female, please. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Let's see if we get another one on the phone. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. What's your first name?
Sherry Ann.
Hello, Sherry Ann. We're meeting some new names today. Sherry Ann, what parish are you watching from?
St. Michael.
St. Michael. What's your answer for me, Sherry Ann?
Pepperoni.
Sherry Ann, you sure?
Yes, I am.
When was the last time you watched Home Alone?
Up to the day before.
Up to the day before?
Mm-hmm.
You need to rewind because that is not the answer, okay?
Sure?
Oh, you asking me?
Okay.
Okay, Sherry Ann, thanks, yeah?
All right.
All right, good girl. 228-55, at least she chuckled. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What was the preferred slice of pizza for Kevin in Home Alone? I can go with the answer in front of me, but I need you to tell me it. 228-5562 or 63. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
I'm pretty good too. So what's your first name?
Lee.
Lee. And Lee, what parish are you watching from?
Christchurch.
And how do you spell your first name, Lee?
Leigh.
Or like that one, Leigh. And Lee, what's your answer for me this morning?
Cheese.
Cheese what?
Cheese pizza.
Cheese paste, you said?
Cheese pizza.
You ever had a cheese pizza? You ever had a cheese pizza, Lee?
Yes, please.
Really? A pizza with just cheese on top?
Yeah, at the gas station in Worthing does it.
Oh, you got to promote, but that's okay. All right, well, Lee,
yes,
I'll
please.
give it to you. It's a cheesy pizza. You're absolutely right, Lee. So well done, Lee. Where exactly in Christchurch are you, Lee? Oh, Lee.
Yes, please.
Where in Christchurch are you?
Regency Park.
Just down the hill from us. All right, Lee, you stay on the phone. We'll take some more details from you, okay?
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Lee has correctly identified that Kevin loves cheesy pizza in the movie Home Alone. I'll take that as the answer. So Crumb's Bakery question of the day has been correctly answered by Lee. Hopefully tomorrow you'll get the opportunity to yourself to correctly answer and win with Crumb's Bakery. A break, and when we come back, our conversations on CARICOM will start.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
18 minutes after 7 now, as I promised, it's time for our conversations on CARICOM to begin. And of course, we always have those conversations with Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commissiong. Good morning to you, Ambassador Commissiong.
Good morning, Pearson. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you as always. A week is a long time. In politics, they say a week is a long time in CARICOM too. And so a lot has been happening over the last couple that we've been together. So where do we start in trying to tell people about what's been going on in CARICOM?
Well, on Friday, we had a special meeting of our Council for Trade and Economic Development. And basically, the main item on the meeting was really the CARICOM Secretariat giving us all a renewed call to action in relation to the CSME, the CARICOM Single Market and Single Economy. And I thought it was very timely, especially for Barbados. We have just completed our journey to the Republic of Barbados, but we are now about to begin the journey of the Republic of Barbados. And I think that in many respects, as we contemplate Barbados' next moves, where are we going to go as this new republic in the new year, I think we should be looking at a convergence of our national agenda with our regional agenda. Because, when you come to think of it, what we have done by becoming a republic is actually we are helping to advance, I would say, perhaps a second phase in the total independence of the Caribbean community. Remember, the first phase, we all got independence from Britain, but we got this independence with, the British Privy Council as our major national court, the Queen of England as our head of state, and then so the second phase started with Guyana in 1970, making that break to republic, followed by Trinidad in 1976, followed by Dominica in 1978, and now Barbados. So that's the second phase of independence, completing really the circle of independence. But and so what Barbados has done is very, very important for Caribbean. Now we need to consider how do we now go forward and build this sustainable, resilient, self-reliant, self-sustaining Barbadian nation, and how does that connect now with the rest of the region pursuing a similar agenda? And that's where the CARICOM single market and single economy is the key initiative that pulls all of this together. And of course, Barbados and our Prime Minister, we have lead responsibility for the CSME. So Pearson, over the last year and a half, we haven't heard a lot about the CSME because everything was about COVID. Everything was about how do we deal with this pandemic, about all the public health measures, about how do we get vaccines. There were many, many press conferences in Barbados, but those press conferences weren't about the CSME, they were about COVID.
Yes.
But now, as you heard the doctor in the news clip, we have kind of gotten over the shock of COVID. We know that we are not out of the woods yet, but we have kind of gotten the kind of protocols that we need to employ. And I think we are in a space now, having gotten over that hump, having achieved our republic, I think we're in a space now where we're going to really refocus on the CSME and how both Barbados and CARICOM, how we go forward and pursue this new self-reliant, sustainable, resilient form of development.
Movement of people is critical to all of that, and the pandemic has said you can't move so easily. And so what's the CARICOM plan then to open back up that space where people can move around and find work and live?
Exactly. Pearson, we have discussed on this program the CARICOM Skills National Program, which is all about the movement of skills, the movement of skilled people across the region. But that kind of became a redundancy over the past 18 months as travel was shut down. There were lockdowns on countries. But now I think we are in a space now where we can really get back to that. And I feel that this is very critical for Barbados and Barbadians, because I think of all of the national populations across the region, I think Barbados is the one that has most focused on education and training and human resource development. And so I think this Skills National Program, that Barbadians really should be in the driving seat of that and making full use of it. And one of the things going forward into the new year, Pearson, we're going to focus a lot more on public education and public engagement. And I'm going to really, I will really be trying to bring home to Barbadians all of the opportunities available in the Skills National Program. Yes, we are opening back up for travel. Travel is opening back up, and so we can move in that direction again. But especially our artisans, all of the artisanal occupations that fit under the Skills National program. We are now trying to put in place arrangements for agricultural workers, security guards, household domestics. These are relatively new categories, but I am going to be bringing home to Barbadians, look, get to the Barbados Accreditation Council, get your CARICOM Skills National Certificate. Even if you're not going to use it immediately, still get it. I have it. I have mine. Anytime I need to access it, it is there. And so there's going to be a lot more public engagement. We in Barbados, I think we have the infrastructure in place to really deal with the implementation of the CSME. We have our CSME focal point, Ms. Chanel Richards. She is in the Prime Minister's office, so she is the key government official. She's the focal point for CSME. I, as ambassador for CARICOM, I work with her, so we are both, in a sense, focal points for the CSME. But Barbados has also put in place our consultative mechanism. So we have our interministerial consultative council. That is where we bring together government officers working on implementing CSME. We have done that. And we also have established our business, labor, and civil society consultative council. That's where we reach out now to the private sector, the labor movement, and civil society. But that council hasn't met for a little while because, as I said, the last 18 months has really been about COVID. So you don't want to call people to meetings unnecessarily. But I think the time has come now where we are going to put in play all of the institutional structure that we have constructed. And for us, for the Republic of Barbados, it has to be full steam ahead now for our national agenda, coordinated with the regional agenda. And I give you one example of what I'm talking about. I think the Ministry of Agriculture kind of has it right, because at the same time that the Ministry of Agriculture is going ahead with the local farmers enfranchisement and empowerment drive, creating more local farmers, generating more food security internally. At the same time we are doing that, we also have the Brokopondo Agricultural Development Program in Suriname, where Barbados has joined together with the government of Suriname, where we have been allocated a large acreage of agricultural space in Suriname for Barbados to actually set up an agricultural production operation in Suriname, which is a much larger territory, much more land available. For example, we have said, if we really want to expand our black belly sheep operation, we need much more land than we have in Barbados. Well, Suriname has that land. So that kind of approach, where every ministry looks at not just a local, national program and operation, but also twinned with it a regional orientation, a regional program, so that we can open up to Barbadians, especially young Barbadians, these new horizons. That is not just about the 166 square miles of Barbados, but we are going to forge all across this region, taking our skills, taking business activity, looking for a wider destiny and career opportunities for ourselves. So that's the agenda, really, as I see it, for the new Republic of Barbados.
It's interesting. We haven't even touched on COTED, because trade and development is also going to be a critical part of how we go forward, because time is against us right now. I don't know how is it? Whenever you and I get together, the clock seems to speed up. I just don't get it.
There's always so much to talk about. But
yes.
I mean, the idea of the CSME really is that we have to make all of these linkages. We have to create this one domestic space so that we can really energize a very powerful, self-sustaining economy. And I'm thinking principally, Pearson, of our young people, because this is their future. We must give them limitless opportunities. And so there's, we have to create this very dynamic economy for them. And the CSME gives us the opportunity to do so. So I'm promising you that is going to be a very big focus come the new year. You know, how does Barbados play the leading role? After all, we have lead responsibility for it. How does Barbados lead by example?
Indeed. Well, we have a wonderful example coming up right after you, so we'll take that break now. But thank you so much, Ambassador Commission, again, for joining us on our conversations on CARICOM. Anxiously look forward to what else we can talk about next week, should it be God's will. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're very welcome. Likewise. One of those young people who has been out of Barbados doing great things. We will meet right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The next person you will meet is another outstanding Barbadian who has, from the age of 6, been in football. And she went on then to be able to pursue and attain her Bachelor's of Science degree in Movement and Sports Science with a minor in Law and Society with the highest distinction. And so we are immensely proud this morning to meet with Soraya Toppin-Herbert. Soraya, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
There is so much about you that is beaming excellence this morning. We just had to have you this morning. Where in the world are you at the moment, Soraya?
I'm currently in Nassau, Bahamas.
That is such a beautiful place to be. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful society there in Nassau, Bahamas. Why are you there?
I was recently appointed the Director of Women's Football Development here, working with the Football Association in the Bahamas.
Now, Soraya, that is not an easy job. So how did you attain that position?
Well, I guess I have an extensive, career in sports. And when I was actually working at the Football Association in Barbados, I had the opportunity to attend a FIFA CIES Football Executive Program in Trinidad, along with the General Secretary from Barbados. And there I would have met some other General Secretaries and other persons involved with football within the Caribbean. And one of those persons was the Deputy General Secretary from the Bahamas. So we would have met each other then. From that point until now, we hadn't really communicated a lot. But I guess he would have followed my work that I was doing with my organization back in Barbados called Rail 34 Sports Inc., where we have a program for primary school girls, introducing them to the sport of football as well as life skills called the More Than Boots program. They would have had a vacancy then come up for their Director of Women's Football Development, and I guess he thought about me. He reached out. We started to communicate about the position and what they were looking for, and from there until now, that's kind of how this job has come about.
Wow, you are such a fortunate woman. You've done so much. You've played football as a junior for Pro Shotters. You went on then to Queen's College. You did it there. You went to Philadelphia. You did it there. And now you're in the Bahamas. Of course, you're running your own sports program here in Barbados as well. What's it like, though, having now the responsibility for developing women's football in the Bahamas?
Yeah, it's a very big responsibility, but it's one that I definitely hold dear to my heart. It's something that I would have tried to do in Barbados through my program with the young girls there in Barbados. So being able to do it now at national level here in Nassau is definitely, in the Bahamas, I should say, is definitely, for me, I feel like I'm following my purpose because it allows me to be able to give back to a sport that has allowed me to grow and achieve so much. So provide an opportunity for young ladies and women to be able to pursue that. That's kind of the biggest thing for me is just being able to really live out my purpose and to have a positive impact on future.
Yes. Now, when you start to think of it, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas has over 700 islands. I mean, while all of them are not necessarily populated, there is still quite a bit to coordinate this effort of yours. How has it been so far for you, just so that you get a sense of what's on the islands and to be able then to chart your way forward?
Yeah, so I'm now kind of getting into that phase of really connecting with people. As you said, there's so many different islands, so many different logistical challenges. But right now it's kind of a investigative, I guess, phase, just learning what is available, who is available, and then from there it's about putting the right people in the right places, putting the right programs together, and really a big coordination effort. But so far, it seems like there are some islands that have some structures up and running, so those will be easy to work with. But with others that don't, it's about finding the right mix. I think the nice thing about here in the Bahamas is that they're not kind of set on just grass, which is traditional football. They're open to other variations of the game, such as beach soccer and futsal. So for some islands, that may be the area that we can focus on because maybe they have wider beaches, more so that maybe grass fields, so we can focus on beach soccer. Or maybe if they don't have either of those, they probably have basketball courts. We can focus on futsal. So I think right now it's just about figuring out exactly what exists where, who exists where, that can really take these programs and run and can assist me with kind of coordinating different areas. But everything I believe it is going to be a really big team effort.
Yeah. What kinds of resources are available to you so that you can achieve the mission that you're on?
Well, I guess luckily because I work at the association, there is the association itself that's there to assist. I think we're in the process of hiring a new technical director, so he'll bring in his own experience as well. So there's that kind of technical experience. There's always FIFA that's available to provide assistance, whether that's in courses or capacity building, things like that. But then on the ground, you have the clubs, you have coaches that have been working in these environments for a long time that will know a little bit more about how things work. So those are definitely going to be key resources. You have as I said, the clubs, and then obviously the players as well, having them buy in. One of the things that we're going to be looking to work closely with is the Ministry of Education in terms of getting into the schools and getting them pushing soccer more, because here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, there are a lot of sports that are competing for these young people. So we're trying to work with as many people. So the resources are both tangible in terms of the persons that are there to assist, as well as financial, whether that be from the association or from FIFA, and so those are some of the key resources available.
Now, you have two things either working for you or against you. One, you're female, and your age, you're young. So how do you see it, as a challenge or as an opportunity? The age and the gender?
I think it's both. So I think it's definitely both. I think because I am female and I'm young, and what I'm here to do is to work with women, to get the women's program up and running, it's definitely an opportunity to be able to show the other young women here, the older women here, what's possible. So I think that will give them hope. I think the challenge is that because I am female and I'm young, I may run into some older people, maybe some younger people as well, who may challenge what I'm putting out there. But I think the experiences that I've had, the things that I've done before, kind of speak for themselves. So I don't really worry too much about being young or female, because I know what I'm capable of, and hopefully the other people will be able to see that in due time.
Fantastic. What do your parents think about this journey that you're on?
They have me back in Barbados for a couple of years in between my studying, but they understand the passion, and they're along for the ride as well. And this is as much a testament to them as it is to me, because they've always stood by me from the time I started at 6, being a little girl playing. Football. Girls didn't do that at the time, and I had two parents that they never made me feel I was doing something strange or different. They always stood by me, even when I left Barbados at 15 with only 2 CSCs to go overseas and pursue playing in college. They always stood by me as well. So they've always been there. They're always supportive. They're my number one supporters, and I wouldn't be here without them.
Fantastic. You have a website where people can come to get to know more about you and your mission. What's that website?
Yeah, so my website's raya34sports.com. So that's RAYA sports.com. RAYA34 sports.com.
We've just posted it right there right there it is, and we can go on to this website and see RAYA34sports.com. You get to know a little bit more about Soraya Toppin-Herbert, and she is doing great things all over the world. She's in the Bahamas now. She is now the director of women's football in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, if you so please. Not one island, several islands, and she is quite competent enough to be able to do so. And so, Soraya, this morning we are immensely proud of you. You know, we are so proud of you. When the story broke, we had to have you on our Morning Barbados for real, to celebrate your success, to celebrate all of your achievements, because we know you are for us a shining example of what young Barbadian women can be, and the example that you can give to the world to bring them forward to and to recognize who you are. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, Soraya.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome indeed, and thank you for agreeing to come with us. There she goes. That's Soraya Toppin-Herbert, a Barbadian, the director of female football in the Bahamas, and she is already hitting the ground, kicking, so to speak, but doing very well already. We're going to take a break right here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
18 to 8 o'clock, we told you about Hopeful Handbags before earlier the year, and so we want to catch up again with them this time at the end of the year. And so Kimberly Barker is the Caribbean coordinator for Hopeful Handbags. She joins us now. Good morning to you, Kimberly.
Hi, good morning, Pearson. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Now, so for those who are uncertain as to what is Hopeful Handbags, what can you remind them of what it is that you do?
So Hopeful Handbags is a global nonprofit which spreads hope to survivors of domestic abuse, right? We also bring awareness, and that is not okay. And we also reach out to survivors and help them with job opportunities, with housing and counseling. So, yeah.
But the handbag part is a critical component as well. While you're offering hope, you're also offering physical hope as well.
Right. So the handbags is a way of getting through to survivors, because a lot of them still live with their abusive partner. So what we do is that we collect once loved handbags. They're usually donated from persons, and we clean them up. We fill them with the essentials that the survivors may need, so that they don't have to depend on their abuser to provide for them. So simple necessities like sanitary napkins and makeup and everything like that, things to make them feel good about themselves. And because majority of the survivors are females, we shouldn't be abused or mistreated just for being a female. So a lot of them will be filled with like sanitary napkins and stuff like that, so that they don't have to depend on their abuser to provide those things for them.
You know, part of what you offer is the ability, yes, offering hope. So you're dealing with the inside, the spirit of who the individual is. But while you're dealing with that, you're also dealing with the outside, the physical, the thing that everyone sees and that they see themselves. So it's a two-pronged approach with Hopeful Handbags.
Yeah.
And you take donations. I'm told you over 16,000 people you've been making connections with. That's a lot of people.
Yes. So since we would have spoken in September and introduced the program to Barbados, we have had donors from overseas support persons here in the Caribbean. But since then, we would have coordinated workshops. As I said earlier, we now look at a threefold section where we look at self-esteem through self-perception. We also do entrepreneurship, which allows them to make their own money and help them to, again, not depend on their abusers, sorry.
Right.
And then the third thing is that we've introduced self-defense workshops, which basically we help them to learn how to defend themselves. So what had happened was that we had pitched our self-defense workshops to donors, and Verizon Wireless in America was actually interested in it, and they decided to sponsor us. So since we spoke in September, I have been requested to help coordinate and execute self-defense workshops to over 16,000 survivors of domestic abuse along the East Coast of America.
Now you're smiling. Why did that make you smile and chuckle?
Because it is very rewarding and demanding at the same time. Because
I can well imagine.
I'm usually up to last weekend, I was in 3 states for just the weekend. And then Thursday, I'm in South Carolina. And then the 23rd, I am in Detroit. So It's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of because I'm also administering it myself. So it's a lot of organizing as well. I'm making sure that we don't max out the resources in executing the programs.
So what's your Kimberly? This is a lot of work for a little young you to be able to do. Did you always have this capacity to achieve such?
Well, thank you for the compliment, Pearson. I'm actually turning 33 next week.
Still young.
But, Before I was made redundant, I was an executive administrator at one of the telecommunication companies. So that education, that experience as well has helped me to be able to execute this as smoothly as possible.
Wow, girl, you're really causing a lot of people to be very proud this morning. So for those watching this morning who want themselves also to donate to Hopeful Handbags, how can they do so?
Yes, well, they can call 837-4072, right? And there's also a website, www.hopefulhandbags.org, right? And they are different. You just click on the different areas because it's a global organization, and you can always just click on Caribbean and you'll find Barbados, because we've extended into 3 Caribbean countries as well since we last spoke in September.
Oh boy, you're really an ambassador. So the number to call, 837-4072. 837-4072. We know we love to call. 837-4072. Call or go to the website hopefulhandbags.org, and you can indicate that you'd like to make a donation, because every little bit goes to help those who find themselves at the other hand of abuse, and so we want to offer hope for anyone who finds themselves in abusive situations. So this is what Hopeful Handbag provides. Now you're traveling all over the globe, lending yourself to so many people and offering training and the like. Do you talk about Barbados?
Yes, I love my country. I support my country. Anything that I could do. As I said, even when Pure came in September, before the doubt, I told them, y'all have to visit Barbados. There are a lot of people there. Period poverty is real. We went to the different schools, Lodge School, Springer School, Allen School, and we supported. So as you probably are aware that nonprofit work also is a lot of networking.
Yes.
And I would have been on the news Thursday before, but I'm also a martial arts enthusiast. And I would have attended some martial arts events whilst I've been visiting as well. And I also
Yes.
use that as a networking opportunity. So at one of the events, I actually had to participate against Chuck Norris's students, and I won.
Okay. You had to
so
win.
the word is on the street that there's this Barbadian girl,
Yes.
she is on
Tough.
fire. So they want to come down now to the Caribbean to see what the Caribbean has to offer. So
Wow.
I've already heard from Minister Sutherland, and we're very interested in bringing an international tournament to Barbados, hopefully November 30th, 2023. And that should be a good injection into the tourism industry
Wow.
through sports tourism.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
your life has taken quite a trajectory. I mean, when you woke up and settle for just a moment, you think, my goodness, what am I doing? How did all of this happen? Did those questions ever cross your mind?
I know, right? Yeah, I still can't believe it up to now. I think it just comes down to genuinity and honesty. As I said, I was made redundant and I wasn't able to get a job. So I started volunteering, started helping people around the community. And social media did play a big part in it because someone would have recommended me to the current president of Hope for Handbags. And together we worked together, and it started off as just a US 501c3 nonprofit. But then since then it extended into all 7 continents and throughout Africa.
Fantastic. That door opened for you, and that's really great, Kimberly Barker. And, I want to encourage people today to give you a call at 837-4072 or to go to the website hopefulhandbags.org and make a donation. It's a very worthwhile effort that you're engaged, and I want to commend you again, Kimberly. Of course, at Mornin Barbados, we're open to help too with Hopeful Handbags. And certainly, just reach out to us as you make your travels. Don't forget us as well. Keep us in the loop so we know what's going on. And let's see how we can help you as well. Thank you so much, and all the best, Kimberly.
Thank you, Pearson. And also, if there are any survivors that would like to reach out as well, they too can contact us through that number, because we also spread hope. So if it is that you are in an abusive relationship and you want help or anything like that, as I said, you can always contact us, or you could always reach out on the website and someone would contact you.
That's right. Working to create a world without domestic abuse. And certainly call 837-4072. Kimberly Barker, thank you so very much. She's the Caribbean coordinator of Hopeful Handbags. Thank you. All the best. All right. Isn't she delightful? Her work is really outstanding. I encourage you to join the organization. Give as much as you possibly can, because they're bringing hope to so many people across Barbados and the region and the world. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, I am going to be calling one of you. So stand by your phone. Coming up.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
6 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. Let's see if we get a winner out of you today. We're giving you a call in our Christmas promotion. So stand by your phone and answer it. Answer it. Don't try to figure out who's calling you. So let's go. Let's see if we get that person on the line. This morning, Megan was so fun. Let's see if we have another one here now. Lady Fat Fingers is dialing away. The phone is ringing. If it is your phone ringing, answer it. Answer your phone. I just love Beijing. Answer your phone. So come on. Come on.
CBC,
Hello?
what you gonna give me for Christmas?
What did you just say at first?
CBC, what you gonna give me for Christmas?
You work at CBC? Hello?
Hello?
Do you work at CBC?
No.
You don't work at CBC. So why did you answer your phone CBC?
Pardon?
Hello? Why did you answer your phone by saying CBC?
Because I see CBC.
Oh, you were having a conversation with somebody?
Yeah.
And you said, oh, CBC, and then what you can give me for Christmas?
What you gonna give me for Christmas?
You see CBC? You sure it's CBC that calling you?
Yes.
What makes you so sure?
Because I know.
No. What makes you so sure?
Because I know.
Well, how do you know then?
Because I see the number.
Because what?
I see the number.
What number did you see?
CBC number.
You play tricks on me.
No.
I asked you what number did you see was the number? Answer me. What's that number?
What's your number?
What is that number you saw? Because I'm calling from the office, so I know what you're talking about. So talk to me. What number did you see? Hello? Is she there?
Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Are you stunned?
I just see the name come up.
What
Not
name did
number.
you see?
I see CBC come up.
All right. Don't get caught up. Okay, fine. I'll take it from you. I will take it from you. What's her first name? What's your first name?
Suzanne Griffith.
Hello. Oh, you give me all. Suzanne Griffith. All right. Suzanne, you have any idea who you're talking to?
It sounds like Pearson.
If it sounds like that to you, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Suzanne. All right, Suzanne. You have won $75 compliments Carmitas and the BADMC.
Okay,
Now you can get
thank
lots
you.
of meat.
Yeah.
What's your favorite meat? Pork, lamb, chicken, what?
Fish.
You like fish?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Suzanne Griffith, thank you. Someone from our marketing department will be calling you, all right?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
All right, well done, Suzanne. Have a happy time. Suzanne Griffith answered her phone. CBC, what are you gonna give me for Christmas? I thought she worked here. I honestly thought she worked here, but she didn't. But nevertheless, that's how it goes. I'm glad that you answered your phone today, folks. That's as simple as that. Simple Simon made the appointment. When we call you, you answer your phone, but you don't have to say anything other than simply what you should say, which is what are you gonna give me for Christmas. If you've entered the competition, that's exactly what you're required to do. You knew the rules of the competition when you chose to enter, and so we ask you to just simply do that. Phone rings, don't debate who it is. If you're like Megan, even if your friends laugh at you, answer the phone with what you're going to give me for Christmas Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Doesn't matter. Just answer the phone in that way. And that means that every time the phone rings, you probably will be the one we're calling. You never know. And as the old people will say, practice makes perfect. So practice it starting today by answering your phone with, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Unless you're a receptionist at your office, of course. In which case, that's a completely different game. That's beyond my control. That's a decision you have to make. But certainly we encourage you to be a part of the competition by doing the right thing, because in doing the right thing, you get a chance to win and you receive something really good for Christmas. What are you doing for Christmas? What are you going to give me for Christmas? All of that as part of the CBC. Big thanks to all of our supporters, our companies that have supported us in this effort. A big thank you to all of you who have given generously so that we can give generously to all of you who are watching and listening as well. So opportunities on radio, opportunities right here on Morning Barbados on TV 8, Beijing TV. I really want to thank all of you for joining us this morning. Thank you so very much. Our little crew includes Alicia Alsgrant, my producer. Roll Ford is our technical director. At sound is Michael Sobers. And in master control, keeping the clock on all of us, is Tamisha Green. We thank you for joining us today. We do look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.